Welcome back. So it is almost Halloween, Samhain, Hallows, whatever you call it. And this is a time of year that, as pagans, a lot of us are thinking about death. And we use it as a time often to talk about our ancestors and to think about, to honor, to remember our ancestors. So that's one of the things that I've been thinking about today. And just remembering my mother, my grandmother, her mother, and so on. And of course not just on the mother's side, though my father is still alive, so I don't always think as much about that side. But he is an ancestor of mine, right? And one of the things that I was reflecting upon is if we go far back enough, our ancestors stop being humans. Or at some point we start being humans, but before that we weren't. We were something else. We can go far back and back and back, and we go far enough and we weren't mammals. And far enough back and we weren't even reptiles. Far enough back we weren't even chordates, right? We weren't even vertebrates. And we keep going back, and there's this direct line between us and whenever life started on Earth, or even beyond, if life didn't start on Earth and we hitchhiked here on a comet or an asteroid or something like that. But I also think about the parts of us that aren't human. Thinking a lot about the mitochondria who share our cells and who really make us us, who are genetically distinct individuals, but without whom we would not live, we would not survive. And so they are us on a very real level. But I've also been thinking about those that are not very closely genetically related, right? As far as we can tell, everybody on Earth, we are actually related to some extent, but we go far enough back. But I'm thinking about all of the death that led to my life and continues to lead to my life, and the parts of me that have died that have led to the life of something else. But this is a time of the year that I think is important to honor not only our human ancestors, but our non-human, our mitochondria, and also our food. Those whose lives ended and flowed into becoming part of our lives. So the honor of whoever, whatever it is, because you do eat someone, whatever particular kingdom of life they come from, and they ate and they ate. And so this is a time of celebrating that and valuing that. So that's what I'm thinking about in this just absolutely lovely, gorgeous afternoon flowing into evening. You can hear that there's some birds around, and the crickets they've got a lot to say. And just hanging out with this tree, which old junipers like this, they always remind me of this continuous balance and back and forth between life and death, because while they're alive, some of them are just covered in the process of dying, and mosses and lichens and all sorts of things that grow on them and live on them and take their turn. So I guess this is a time to think about turns, about it being our turn, and one day it won't be. So anyways, thanks for sharing this moment.